I want you to think about the hardest you've ever worked for a paycheck. Think about the early mornings, the stress, and the absolute grind. Now imagine taking $100,000 of that hard-earned cash, putting it in a pile in your backyard, and setting it on fire. Sounds insane, doesn't it? But right now, across Australia, hundreds of thousands of people are doing exactly that. They just don't see the smoke. You see, building wealth in this country isn't just about how much you earn or what ETF you buy. It is largely about avoiding the catastrophic, wealth-destroying traps that are specifically designed to catch you at every stage of your life. The system is smart, the banks are smart, and the traps change depending on how old you are. Today, we are going to walk through the exact financial traps waiting for you in your 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. I've seen mates lose a decade of progress falling into these holes. We are going to make sure you step right over them. Let's start with the 20s. You've got your first real job, you've got a bit of disposable income, and for the first time in your life, banks are practically begging to lend you money. The biggest trap in your 20s is the fake rich trap. It is the overwhelming desire to look successful before you actually are successful. How does it happen? It starts small. Buy now, pay later schemes for a new wardrobe or a new iPhone. But then it escalates to the ultimate 20-something wealth destroyer, the financed car. I see young blokes on $65,000 a year signing up for an $80,000 dual cab ute on a 5-year finance deal at 9% interest. They think they look like a boss. In reality, they have just handcuffed themselves to a depreciating liability that drops 20% in value the second they drive it out of the dealership. By the time they pay off that loan, they've paid nearly $100,000 for a car that is now worth $35,000. That's a $65,000 loss before they even hit 30. If they had bought a reliable $10,000 used car and invested the difference in a basic index fund, they would have a house deposit ready by age 28. In your 20s, the trap is your ego. The fix is simple. Nobody actually cares what you drive. Keep your expenses low, avoid bad consumer debt like the plague, and buy assets, not appearances. Now we hit the 30s. The danger here evolves. You're earning more, you might be married, and you're looking to settle down. Welcome to the status upgrade trap, also known as the keeping up with the Joneses mortgage. In Australia, the cultural obsession with property is a religion, and the banks use this against you. Let's say you and your partner have a combined income of $180,000. You go to a mortgage broker and they tell you that you are approved to borrow $1.2 million. You were originally looking at modest, comfortable townhouses for $750,000. But suddenly, the bank says you can afford a massive 4-bedroom house in a premium suburb.
So you take the maximum amount the bank offers. You fall into the trap. Here is the brutal reality of the 30s status upgrade. You now have a $1 million mortgage. When interest rates tick up, your disposable income vanishes. You can't afford to invest. You can't afford to take a career risk or start a business because you are a slave to the monthly repayment. Worse still, living in a premium suburb means your lifestyle creep explodes. The neighbours send their kids to private school, so you feel like you have to as well. The neighbours renovate their kitchen, so you pull equity out of your house to do the same. To beat the trap in your 30s, you must ignore the maximum borrowing capacity the bank gives you. Buy the house you actually need, not the house your ego wants. Keep your mortgage repayments under 30% of your take-home pay, so you still have cash flow to invest in super and shares.
Next is the 40s. This is the decade where wealth is either solidified or completely squandered. The biggest trap in your 40s isn't spending too much money, it's apathy. It's the "she'll be right" trap. By your 40s, life is incredibly busy. You are at the peak of your career, the kids are in high school, and you are just trying to get through the week. Because you are exhausted, you put your finances on autopilot. You haven't looked at your superannuation in 5 years.
You don't know what fees you are paying, you haven't checked if you're in a high growth or a conservative option. You just assume that the compulsory 12% your employer puts in will magically be enough to fund a 30-year retirement.
This is a $100,000 mistake. Let's look at the numbers. If you have $200,000 in super at age 40 and you are stuck in a retail fund charging 1.5% in fees with mediocre returns, compared to a low-fee industry fund charging 0.5% with strong growth assets, the difference at age 65 isn't just a few grand. It is literally hundreds of thousands of dollars missing from your retirement. The 40s is also when you hit your peak earning years, which means you are paying the maximum amount of tax to the ATO. The trap is doing nothing about it. You need to be actively using salary sacrifice to boost your super, utilising carry-forward concessional contributions and minimising your taxable income legally. In your 40s, ignoring your money is the most expensive mistake you can make. Take the blindfold off.
Finally, we hit my demographic, the 50s. This is the final sprint before retirement, and the traps here are the most dangerous because you do not have time to recover if you fall in. There are two massive traps in your 50s. The first is the panic investment. You wake up at 55, look at your net worth, and realise you are way behind where you want to be. Instead of accepting reality and aggressively saving, you look for a shortcut. You listen to a bloke at the pub who tells you about a guaranteed speculative mining stock or some obscure crypto scheme or a highly leveraged property syndicate. You roll the dice with your life savings to try and catch up, and you lose. In your 50s, return of your capital is just as important as return on your capital. The second trap is the bank of mum and dad.
You see your kids struggling to buy a house in today's brutal market. Because you love them, you pull $150,000 out of your own home equity or your super to give them a deposit. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't help your kids if you are genuinely wealthy, but if your own retirement is not 100% fully funded and secure, giving away your capital is financial suicide. You are sacrificing your own dignity in retirement. You are putting yourself in a position where 10 years from now, you might have to rely on the age pension or become a financial burden to those exact same kids. Put your own oxygen mask on first. The greatest gift you can give your children is the absolute certainty that they will never have to financially support you when you are old.
Here is the truth about getting wealthy in Australia. You don't need to be a genius. You don't need to pick the next Apple or BHP before it booms. Warren Buffett's partner, Charlie Munger, used to say, "All I want to know is where I'm going to die, so I'll never go there." Wealth is about avoiding stupidity just as much as it is about seeking brilliance. If you dodge the $80,000 car loan in your 20s, if you avoid the ego-driven mega mortgage in your 30s, if you optimise your tax and super in your 40s, and if you protect your capital in your 50s, you will win the game. It is mathematically inevitable. Look at your own life right now. Which trap are you closest to falling into? Identify it, step around it, and keep moving forward. If you found this valuable, hit the like button. Make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss the next video where we keep decoding the Aussie system. I'm the Retired Aussie. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.